Today on entitled Parents. Mom changed her baby's diaper on the bar counter at the Vineyard. I don't know. I'm still a little floored by this. I've heard people seeing this kind of thing before, but hoped I would never see it. My husband and I went to a vineyard for a wine tasting. This place is a combination vineyard and apple orchard, and they make wine and hard ciders. People do bring their children sometimes, but it's mostly a place for bachelorette parties, people drinking wine outside, and chilling to some live music. We're inside doing a wine tasting, and this woman walks in with her baby. Goes to one of the bar counters and proceeds to start changing her baby's dirty diaper right on the counter. She didn't even put a blanket or towel down first, just a dirty diaper right on the counter. The staff was staring at her with pretty horrified looks. I'm pretty sure my husband and I were like, WTF. Few of the other customers in the place were definitely watching her with confused looks. After she left, one of the vineyard staff had to Clorox wipe and spray down the whole counter. Sometimes I just wonder about people. For our next story. I am my mom's partner. I'm 21, female, and I graduated from college last year. I was lucky enough to find a stable job at my last year of college where I'm still working in. My paycheck is not that impressive but is considered a little above average in my country. My mom is the sole parent of me and my sister, 16T. She married at 18 and had me at 20. It turned 21 2 months later, crazy, then got a divorce, and my dad has never been in my conscious life ever since. Once I entered the workforce, LOL, I started helping my sister and mom because I wanted to and felt obliged to. Monthly help from my mom to pay for the mortgage, monthly allowance for my sister for her extracurriculars, etc. Me and mom have a pretty roller coaster relationships. One day it's flowers, next day it's fist. And it's always that I'm either 1, egoistic, 2, selfish, 3, silly, 4, a B word. It's everything all at once on a good day. I spent my college years in another city, and it was pretty good. Now that I've returned to my home, it's 3 of us living here. When I tried to return to my college town, a sudden jealousy attack hit my mom because I've been living with my dad's relatives there. They do keep contact and me and my sister love them. 5, ungrateful animal is added by this point. Mom's got a huge obsession with taking bank credits for everything. She pays for the mortgage and I know it's pretty hard on her. Now that I'm earning money, we started traveling and I'm paying 60%. When I'm stuttering on traveling somewhere with friends, she's all about, and so you're not going to help me, or take me with you and pay for me, why not? I once ordered a large sushi set home, and she yapped about how, you should have used this money for my credit. Hitting included. Once he's had a bad day at work, all the unreleased anger goes on me, and the banter about how I could have helped more goes on and on. I recently had a dinner with her and the grandma and I just loved how grandma said, yeah, now that you're together you need to figure out how to move things on. As if I don't have my own life and goals. I know it was my fault telling her exactly how much I earn, and it's a quick math that I don't endure that much expenses living with her. Yeah, that's cheating, but also other families live like this in peace with their children. I know she's trying her best and it's her first time being a mom in this life and that my help will never be enough. If you're going to tell me that I am indeed a selfish B word, I'll get it. I may be manipulated. I just need an advice. Thanks. Let's dive into our next story. I love my religion, but I am tired of feeling like a WHORE. Summary. I escaped from home after several attempts to reason with my parents. After that, we tried counseling with several professionals to no avail. They tried everything they could to convince me to come back, but it wasn't what I wanted. I knew they would still monitor me and control me, and at 26, I had had enough. It has been a roller coaster to say the least, and I just can't deal with it, them and their community anymore. I am even tired of having no money because of constant professional sessions. Don't get me wrong, they have worked, but it's expensive. I started dating someone. Yes, we went for walks, dinner, movies. But I got so paranoid every time we went out that I told my parents. Because many people had seen us together, not doing anything compromising, but I come from a very judgy and disgusting community, so I knew word was going to get around quickly. I had been so stressed about the entire situation, and I hadn't gotten a break for over 4 months after leaving. I wasn't even leaving my apartment because, what will people say? From leaving home and being harassed that he invited me to his house at the beach and I said yes, I went 2 weekends. I have made so many mistakes and I feel so ashamed for the things I did while I was younger, sneaking out because I wasn't allowed to stay out, going to parties, drinking, etc., but I have left that life behind. That said, I'm not one to upload pictures of myself. If my dad saw a picture of he didn't like or didn't approve, he would call or text me to tell me to take it down. Mind you, it was never a revealing picture. I wasn't allowed to wear revealing clothes. But one of his family members uploaded pictures of us. In one I was wearing a bikini, and I put my arm around him. He didn't reciprocate though, and the other ones were us in the kitchen cooking, while at their beach house, and someone sent it to my dad. He came to my apartment to talk about the situation, and he doesn't agree with the situation at all, but is willing to forget about the past, as long as I follow their demands basically, and says he doesn't want to control me. Demands like not going out with mixed gender groups, not going out alone with a man, not going to trips, not wearing certain type of clothes. He has also told me about someone who is interested in me from the community, etc. That I am aware of all that he has agreed for me even to live alone, when that's not the case. I escaped because they wouldn't let me, and I financially take care of myself. He has a limit in that type of behavior he will not accept. They don't respect me, and if those are the types of friendships that I want in my life, I honestly do love wearing clothes that show some skin, and I told my dad that I don't wear that clothes for anyone but myself. I have always wanted to do so. It may seem dumb, but I was never allowed, and I'm a very, very skinny girl, so I have always felt that those clothes don't look vulgar on me. And he told me that that's not what God teaches and that it does look vulgar, and that if I like to wear those types of clothes then I need to look inside and assess myself. If a guy from the community sees that image of me in a bikini, they are not going to think, "Oh, she's smart," but, "Oh, she's so hot." And do I really think that I can only offer that? When I am so smart? That the guy I'm dating is a coward because my dad asked him not to tell me, because I was confused. And he did, and he also told him to respect me, and he hasn't. He said that if I wanted to marry a convert, he is not against it, but I need to go back home for at least 3 months while he goes through the process. And then we can get married, but to know that our relationship will change and it will never be the same, and for us to figure it out financially. But that he will be very disappointed because is that the lifestyle that I really want for myself? To let him know what I want, because if that's what I want, then he has reached his limit. They think I'm selfish, and I only think of myself and no one else. Finally, to talk to my therapist and let her know. He thinks that I just tell her my version and to actually let her know all the truth, and then to tell him what she told me to see if she agrees with him. I'm so tired of feeling like a bad person, of feeling so ashamed, of feeling not good enough, of them making me feel like I can't make my own decisions, and I realize my dad is the reason for my low self-esteem. Of feeling like a WHORE, and that I have to be this perfect being, because otherwise I'm not cut out for anything in life, especially marriage. I can't take it, and them anymore. On to the next story. Mom thinks tap shoes are the most dangerous shoe. For context, I work at a dance school. We have baby classes that are half tap class and the second half is ballet class. Those classes are for 3 to 5-year-olds. Mom calls the school phone and I pick it up because I'm available. Mom: "Hi, I'm looking for dance class for my 4-year-old. Me: "Great." Proceeds to explain the class. Mom: "I don't want my child in tap shoes. Tap is the most dangerous dance form. Didn't you know? How can you allow small children to put themselves at risk like that?" Me, confused: May I ask why you believe tap is so dangerous? The worst thing that can happen is accidentally kicking yourself. Yeah, it hurts, but everything has a learning curve. Mom: "Well, I once bought a pair of tap shoes at a garage sale. When I wore them, I slipped on my kitchen tile, and I could have died. I can't have my precious flower." Yes, she really did day that, at risk. Me proceeds to explain that tile flooring is inappropriate for a beginner in tap shoes, and that dance studios have special flooring. Mom: "Well, I still don't know. Why don't you guys create a class for those who don't want their children in those nasty shoes? My daughter is homeschooled, and this is the first time she will be doing any activity outside of the home. I want to make sure she won't be traumatized by a fall. It's not fair to make them do tap." Me: "How old is your daughter? This is the first activity she's joining? How exciting. She will be able to try something new. Who knows? She might really love the tap. Plus you can honestly trip and fall doing literally any activity out there, especially dance." Mom: "She's 4. She's never done anything outside of our house except go to the doctor. I'm excited for her to start making friends. I just don't want her to unalive." Conversation got really repetitive after this, where she'd keep asking for a special class. I said she can either pay for private lessons, which I didn't actually recommend for that age at all, or she can go elsewhere. Our school is incredibly affordable, so most people want to stay with us but try to get us to bend to their needs. I told my boss, and my boss felt so bad that this toddler has had probably little to no socialization. We hope Mom lets her precious flower wear fun shoes that make sounds. If not, I pray that kid gets to get out of her house soon. Our last story for today. Guy steals car, wrecks it, gets his friends to steal it again, ended up totaling it. The guy in this story is my brother, who has been arrested and is currently serving a year in jail for this incident. He threw his daughter away and hasn't seen her in years because of narcotics addiction. He recently got out of rehab after being there for over a year. He moved in with my grandfather for about 3 months until my grandfather bought himself a new car. He had that car for 3 days before my brother relapsed, stole it, picked up his ex-wife, and went on a bender with her, ended up wrecking the car into a tree, and EMS had to get him out. The car had been left there while my grandpa figured out how he was going to get his car out of the woods as it was blocked in by trees and boulders. We have no idea how my brother managed to even get the car there in the first place. He was arrested that night, and after a few days the car was gone. The cops found it totaled in a different location, and whoever stole it had also painted it black and removed the license plate. When the thief realized the car was effed, they started beating it up with a 2x4. We think it was my brother's ex-wife, but there is no evidence apart from a phone that was found in the car. Now my grandpa is out a brand new car because my brother is a dip crap. Just had to tell someone. And those are all the stories we have for today. See you tomorrow.